From Mary Tyler Moore to Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the workplace sitcom is a quintessential and enduring part of the television landscape. And today on UTR, we ask the question, how do we keep it fresh? So don't move a muscle.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to UTR here on the Popcorn Talk Network. My name is Jeff Graham. For those joined, how about that rousing intro, guys? Let's first address. I wasn't sure if the intro. Well, we're just gonna move on, guys. My name is Jeff Graham. Welcome to the Unproduced Table Read here on the Popcorn Talk Network. If this is your first time, this is a show where we read Hollywood's hottest unproduced pilots and features. Right now, we're listening to the Parks and Rec theme.
Yeah.
Because we're reading.
Watched this last night.
Nice.
The show.
We're reading a lovely workplace sitcom that I feel like falls into the tradition of like your Parks and Recs and your Brooklyn Nine-Nines with Elizabeth Samp, who wrote the script. So thank you for being here today, Elizabeth. The script is called Classified. It's an NSA-set, goofy workplace comedy, and I'm really excited to get into it. But before we do that, guys, again, my name is Jeff. If you want to find me online, you can do so at Jeffrey C. Graham. And I'm surrounded by a wonderful group of talented actors who I would love to introduce themselves.
Hey everybody, my name is Andrew Guy. You can find me at Andrew Guy on Instagram and Twitter. And today I will be reading for Chip, who is awesome, and Kwame, who is also awesome.
Who's fine.
Hey guys, I'm Adrian Snow. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Miss Adrian Snow. And today I'm reading for Sarah.
Hi everybody, I'm Mike Kalinowski. You can find me at Mike Kalinowski. Today I'm Wallace and the Senior Agent.
What's up, you guys? I am Timothy Michael. You can find me on all social media platforms at I am Timothy Mike. And today I will be reading Agent 2, Ambrose, Nick, and Miguel.
Hi friends, I'm Roxy Stryer. You can find me everywhere at Roxy Stryer, and I will be reading Agent 1, Rachel, Andrew, Automated Voice, Lynn, and Target.
And of course, we have writer Elizabeth. Elizabeth, thank you for being here today. Let's bring that mic a little closer. It's very there. That's
Yeah,
right.
we're almost making out with it. Then you know you're doing it right.
So Elizabeth, you are a prolific writer, so we're so excited to have you here today. You went to Brown, you trained at UCB, and you've had your work published in like HuffPo, Architectural Digest, and Splitsider, and you worked at The Onion. I want to hear about that a little bit.
Well, I'm just a contributor to the Onion video department, so I pitch headlines to them each week and write some scripts.
Awesome. Well, I think it's cool how your writing is varied, but it looks like you're kind of a journalist by day, comedy writer by night, almost kind of thing.
Exactly.
Which is very cool. And I love a good workplace comedy. It's like definitely my go-to like comfort food TV. We talked about Mike Schur a little bit before we started, who I feel like seems like a bit of an influence for you.
Absolutely.
Can you talk a bit about this script? What I like to do is present the world we're entering just before we go. And I know this is a comedy, but just brief inspirations, kind of what the script is, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. So Classified is set at the NSA. It follows two new recruits as they kind of get started in their career. I am freelance now, but I used to work in an office, so I took a lot of inspiration from the magazine world, which you wouldn't think is high pressure, but actually can be, even though, if you make mistakes, it's not quite as dire as at the NSA.
Awesome. Well, it's such a fun script, and it's kind of a nice antidote to, I feel like, what's been a pretty brutal week. So I think it's well-timed, and I'm excited to get into it. Guys, this is Classified. It's a half-hour sitcom comedy pilot by our wonderful writer, Elizabeth Samp.
Woohoo!
Teaser. Interior, small NSA conference room day. Associate Director Benjamin Wallace, 50s, thin at the hairline and thick around the middle, stands before a table of recently recruited agents at the morning briefing. The rookies can't tell if they've done something wrong or if that's his baseline expression. It's both.
This is the most devastating loss I've experienced in my 30 years at this agency. It's always dangerous when you put rookie agents out in the field. No matter how much you train you, errors will happen. So, who dropped the ball?
He cues up footage on the screen behind him. On the screen, blurry night vision drone surveillance footage appears. Back at the table, Agent 1 whispers to the person beside her.
Is that Afghanistan?
No, I think it's a Walmart.
Last night, I watched as the NSA was humiliated. Not in the media, not at a Senate hearing.
On the screen, suddenly a softball diamond comes into focus.
At an intra-agency softball game against the TSA. People, this is a disgrace. The only time the TSA hits the ball is when they're doing a pat-down. But I found the weak link.
The drone zooms in on the shortstop, Chip Talabai, 29, and an Iranian-American frat boy turned agent, who is tying his shoe while the ball rolls by. Back at the table, everyone stares at Chip.
I think we underestimated him.
The TSA? The biggest threat they face is liquids larger than 3 ounces.
Hey, don't forget nail clippers.
Sarah Lewis, 28, another agent who has been taking notes as if American lives depend on it, interjects.
Per an April 2002 TSA bulletin, nail clippers are permitted.
Not helping.
And then there's this.
On screen, Chip pulls out his waistband, snaps a photo, and types a text. The ball sits at his feet as 2 players run by.
We retrieved the text.
A blurred for network photo in the text bubble reads, "You up?" Back at the table, the repulsed agents groan and one tries not to vomit. Sarah sketches the dick pic into her notes, just in case.
And we pulled others from Agent Teleby's NSA-issued cell.
Messages flash on the screen. They all say,
They all say, "You up?" with no response.
For some reason, no one's ever up.
Since our next game is against Homeland Security,
There are noises of disgust and a few vulgar hand gestures.
you're off the team, Agent Teleby. Dismissed.
What? No, please. I need this team. All the camaraderie and the practices that get me out of work early.
He yells after the agents.
Let me make it up to you.
Sarah stops Chip and points to a dark spot on her blurred for network drawing.
You should get that checked out.
She walks away. Chip undoes his pants and peeks at his blurred for network dick.
I'm gonna have to keep my eye on that ball.
End of teaser. Act 1. Interior NSA cubicles day. Junior agents sit in row after row of cubicles. Each desk is like a command center. Multiple monitors, desktop computer, and laptop. Chip and Sarah are directly across the aisle from one another.
Every time I do a prism search, I am so amazed by how thorough it is. It already found 16 emails with the words Chip and loser.
Be sure to try searching my name again later.
Of course, how else would I get a complete data set?
No, I mean because I'm gonna get back on the team.
Doubtful.
Watch me.
She turns and stares. It takes him a moment to realize she expects him to do something.
Okay, so on my break, I went into CVS and I bought a bunch of candy.
He offers her a heart-shaped box from under his desk. She refuses to take it.
Valentine's Day was 2 months ago.
Exactly. This was only 37 cents, and I wrote this.
He unfolds a piece of paper from his pocket and reads.
Roses are red, fields are green. Please let me back on the softball team.
That's not even a pure rhyme. What is your plan B?
I thought that was only for women.
No. You alternate strategy to get back on the team.
Chip opens his drawer and pulls out his checkbook and a pen.
You can't bribe government employees.
He hands her a check.
And certainly not for $9.
What if it was one of those big telethon checks?
What is your plan C?
The giant check was plan C.
Then good luck with plan D.
It's a good one. Back rubs.
A senior agent, 33 and slick, walks over holding 2 folders.
Training's over, newbies. It's assignment time. First chance to wow the bosses. Talibi, my fellow Phi-Psi, you'll be investigating a bank account with possible ties to a sleeper cell.
Nice.
Sarah holds out her hands like a little kid getting a present.
And Lewis, I need you to file these metadata requests.
That's it? Filing, not investigating?
Investigate the correct order of the folders in the filing cabinet.
The senior agent walks away before Sarah can argue.
Hey, we all start somewhere.
We started on the same day.
Interior break room day. Sarah sits at an empty table with a laptop and a sad-looking salad. Her boyfriend, Ambrose, 30, a congressional aide who looks like he comes from a long line of yachting enthusiasts, pops into a video chat window on her screen.
Bad news. I know we were finally going to spend some time together this weekend, but I have to supervise a fundraiser in Palo Alto. I won't see you until the congressional recess in a few months.
Oh, it's okay. I knew when I got into this that it was a long-distance relationship. We just happened to live in the same city.
Sarah stabs at the salad.
So, are you eating that niswa or punishing it?
He chortles at his own joke.
I need to be working on a high-stakes project, not filing papers.
Filing can be high stakes. There was a page who lost half his pinky filing appropriations bills.
You're not helping, Ambrose.
You don't want help. You had that in the About Me section of your Match.com profile when we met.
I neither want it nor do I need it. I'm gonna get an assignment directly from Ellis right now.
Sarah walks away, leaving her laptop and Ambrose.
Hello?
Interior Wallace's office day. Wallace holds a dictaphone and sits with his feet on the desk in his stark, fluorescent-lit office.
Undercover's Agent by Richard Throbbington, Chapter 7. NSA Director Wallace Benjamin rolls over to find Jasmine's side of the bed empty. She must have gone for an early morning jog, he thought. That was Jasmine. She was always kept things tight. Luckily, Natasha would be at work early to satisfy...
A knock at the door. Wallace sits up.
Damn it! Come in.
Sarah enters forcefully and then dials it back.
Sir, now that I've completed my training, I'm ready for a more challenging assignment.
Ask one of the senior agents.
Actually, I would be a greater asset to the organization if I was working directly with you.
You're one of those kids who blame bad grades and not being challenged enough, weren't you?
I only had one bad grade and it was settled out of court.
There's one thing. I was going to handle it myself, but I think it could be a good fit for you.
I will not disappoint you, or the agency, or the country, or...
I get it.
Sarah keeps standing there.
You can go.
Oh. Yes. Oh, okay. I will do that.
Sarah closes the door behind her. Wallace presses record.
Director Benjamin walked into the steamy bathroom. The faint outline of a woman's curvaceous...
The phone rings. Wallace yells to his secretary.
Tell him in the shower!
Interior Chip's cubicle day. Chip eats truffles from Plan A while typing. He's startled as Nick, 25, an IT guy wearing a train t-shirt under a white button-down, crawls out from under the desk.
I gave you more RAM.
How long have you been down there?
Long enough to see you do several self-exams for testicular cancer.
You have to check for size, shape, and consistency.
Nick tries to lean casually on the cubicle, but looks like he's never leaned on anything in his life.
You should come down to IT later. We're hijacking one of the CIA's drones to stream the World Cup qualifier. Iran versus Guam.
As much as I would love to watch the land of my ancestors beat a country smaller than the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, but I have to track the charges on this account.
I told you a Nigerian prince wouldn't send you money.
It's not my account this time. These are terrorists who apparently use Amazon.com.
Why would they pay higher prices? To save small businesses so they can later blow up those small businesses?
That's a good point. Now, if I could see what's in these orders, I could address the real threat. Me not being on the softball team.
That's easy enough. The NSA has a backdoor into e-commerce sites.
Nick leans over Chip and commandeers the computer in typical IT guy style, a complicated-looking version of Amazon loads.
I thought the back door was for Google, Skype, and the 6th date.
Nope. Wait, did you say 6th?
Chip points to the screen.
What do I do now?
Type the account number in and the search and you're in.
You save my life. First thing I'll do when I'm back on the team is make you water boy.
Nick starts to walk away, but turns back.
Hey, Chip, what happens on the 7th date?
Why would there be a 7th date?
Interior Rachel's cubicle day. Rachel, 22, a perky prodigy with languages, but not human interactions, works on a translation. She repeats phrases out loud, not realizing that she is yelling.
So lang konen work nicht warten.
Wallace approaches and hands her a stack of papers.
Please distribute these diversity surveys. It's optional, but we are legally required to pass them out.
What's the completion rate?
Last year was the highest participation ever. 1%.
1%. That's insane. Don't people care about diversity?
Just check white and hand it to my secretary.
Oh, I'm not white.
Wallace looks at Rachel, who is obviously white.
Uh-huh.
I'm Irish, Scottish, French, and 1/16 Japanese.
So 15/16 white.
I speak 12 languages. I studied abroad 3 times and not in places like London or France. Developmentally challenged places.
That is not a term.
I'm going to get people to care about diversity. You'll have 100% participation, or I was in the head of my high school's multicultural club, and guess what? I was.
Great. Have fun.
Talking about race is always fun.
Interior row of cubicles day. Chip sneaks into a large male agent's cubicle and starts to rub his shoulders. The agent's arm flies back and hits Chip in the throat. Chip collapses.
Okay, that's a no on Plan D.
Interior Wallace's office the next day. Wallace sits with his dictaphone and a cup of coffee.
He expected the rigor would have set in, but Natasha felt as supple as ever. He cupped her. It's always at cupping. Come in.
Sarah enters.
I'm here to pick up my assignment. We discussed it yesterday.
Yes, I'm capable of remembering things that more than 12 hours.
Wallace hands her a thick file.
I need you to find out everything. Likes, dislikes, family, favorite, flower, transmutable medical conditions, but no contact. Got it? We need to keep the upper hand.
I always keep the upper hand. When I hold hands with my boyfriend every 9 to 12 weeks, I insist that my hand be on top.
I'll take the target out when the time is right. You can go.
As Sarah closes Wallace's door, she opens the file and gasps. Interior NSA cubicles day. Sarah power walks to Chip's desk.
A woman.
Chip jumps out of his seat and looks around frantically.
Where?
My target is a woman. I am going to take down a female terrorist. Do you realize how rare that is?
Chip goes back to his computer.
Good for her, breaking the glass ceiling with a Kalashnikov.
You don't think women can be terrorists? Women can be anything.
Can't wait to see the recruitment videos for Al Qaeda Beta Gamma.
She looks at his computer and sees Amazon in his browser.
Well, that's rich, coming from someone who spent their day online shopping.
No, I spent my day investigating terrorist financial activity, and now I'm online shopping.
He turns a monitor to show her a picture of a baseball tee with NSA written in block letters.
We can't play Homeland Security in Hanes undershirts with NSA written in Sharpie.
It's a shame the government was shut down the week we got uniforms.
I'm getting everyone personalized shirts as a grand gesture.
Sarah sits down and digs into the file.
One click and I'm back on the team.
On the computer screen, Chip hits the order button. A confirmation screen appears. Thank you for your order, Abida bin Ease Pala Abdul.
No.
On the computer screen, he clicks account information and sees an unfamiliar address in Arlington. Back on Chip.
No.
He pulls the power cord from his monitors. They go black, but the laptop is still on.
No.
He pulls the laptop's cord out, but it switches to battery power. He closes it and throws it in the trash.
I am trying to work.
I just sent 12 custom shirts personalized with the names of NSA agents to a terrorist.
Well, maybe you should have gone with giant checks.
End of Act 1. Act 2, Interior IT Department Day. Nick leans over the wall of his cubicle to talk to Andrew, 28, a goth IT staffer shrouded in a black hoodie.
I keep getting banned from the 4chan board.
That's because you try to play icebreaker games.
It's a good way to get to know people.
You can't play two truths and a lie on the dark web.
Chip runs in and stands, panting heavily by Nick's desk.
I'm dead.
Oh no, just see a doctor. You can live with one ball, you know.
It's probably for the best that you don't procreate. No one should.
I actually made a purchase on the account that I was tracking.
Maybe they'll think it's an error.
I bought 12 softball jerseys with NSA on the front and each team member's name and government ID number on the back.
Oh, that's bad. You're definitely going to get fired.
And go to jail.
If I get fired, I can't be on the softball team, and I'm not good enough to be on a prison softball team. Can you enter some forward slashes and colons or whatever it is that you guys do to please fix this?
Okay, yeah, I'll try.
Nick pulls up Amazon and clicks around.
Can you cancel the order?
No, I can only resubmit it.
He clicks the resubmit button.
You doubled the order.
I wanted to do something.
Chip glares at Nick.
Don't worry. I'll hop on the dark web and then we're just a few rounds of Never Have I Ever away from a solution.
Chip walks away. Interior of various cubicles day. Rachel is going desk to desk with a clipboard of surveys. She stops at the cubicle of Kwame, 32.
There you are, Kwame, the only African American in our recruit class.
Always nice to be reminded of that.
Would you please fill out this survey? I'm sure you care about diversity as much as I do.
Probably more.
It may be called race, but it's not a competition, Kwame.
Next cubicle. Rachel interrogates Miguel, 28.
Miguel, do you prefer Hispanic or Latino?
Mexican?
You can't say that here.
Hallway. Rachel chases after an Asian agent, Jessica.
Ni hao, Jessica.
Interior large conference room day. Sarah has assembled an intricate web of info with the target's photo in at the center, linked by strings to public records and screenshots from Facebook. Sarah holds her laptop up to show Ambrose, who is on the screen.
She's created quite a facade. Sex in the City quotes, frittata recipes, a which Disney princess are you quiz. She kept taking it until she got Ariel.
That monster.
Ambrose, it's well documented that Ariel is the worst Disney princess.
My apologies. Wait, turn right. Did you print out her Pinterest?
Sarah has printed and recreated the target's Pinterest boards. Healthy recipes, dogs, inspirational quotes, dream house.
Yes, for the psychological profile.
Doesn't pinning photos to an actual bulletin board defeat the point of Pinterest?
Don't question my methods. Look at this. 2 of our inspirational quotes are by Miley Cyrus, and a third is a Miley Cyrus lyric attributed to Maya Angelou.
She sounds like the women that interns find on Tinder. Terrible, but not terrorists.
Something's off, Ambrose. I'm going to find out what she's hiding.
Yep, I know you will. And can you also get the recipe for that spinach dip on the healthy recipes board? That looks really good.
Sarah shuts her laptop and stares at the board.
God, that does look good.
Interior Chip's cubicle day. Chip hits speakerphone and dials a 1-800 number.
Thank you for calling Amazon.com. If you are calling to track an order, say track an order. If you'd like to manage or change an order, say manage order.
Manage order.
I heard manage order. Please say your 16-digit order number.
101602619216116123.
Got it. Your order is being processed. Would you like to resubmit your order?
Cancel order.
Your order has been resubmitted.
No.
Thank you for your order of 48 customized adult baseball tees.
Cancel order.
Your order will be delivered today at 6 p.m.
Stop delivery.
Thank you for calling Amazon.com. Goodbye.
The phone disconnects.
I've got to get those shirts.
Interior Wallace's office day. Files have piled up on Wallace's desk, but he's still dictating away.
It was the second time that he'd seen a woman he loved in a grave. The first time was kinky, but this was devastating. Natasha's younger sister sauntered over, a mix of grief and desire. Ugh. Sister's half as old and is twice as tight. Come in!
You want an update on the case you gave me, the female target?
Do you think I have Alzheimer's?
No, sir. Although, if that is a concern, I've read several reports about the benefits of omega-3s.
Just give me the update.
Sarah hands Wallace a thick dossier. He flips through it.
I've gone through her phone, medical, and social medical records. She appears to be a typical 35-year-old.
I knew she wasn't 30.
Excuse me, sir?
Her eHarmony profile said 30, but at least it didn't say, good personality, loves animals. Doesn't look like a cryptanalyst to know that's code for chubby cat lady.
eHarmony? But I made a detailed threat matrix.
And when my date tonight goes well, I'll have you to thank.
Sir, her psychological profile is too perfect, and I can't find any family in the U.S. She's hiding something.
That's sweet, but you don't need to be protective. Nice work, Lewis.
She stands there, her entire body clenched in anger.
I am not done with this case.
Yes, you are, and you're dismissed.
Sarah slams the door, and Wallace takes out his dictaphone.
We're at Natasha's funeral. Show some respect.
Interior NSA's conference room day. Rachel hands out name tags and a diversity potluck. An Asian woman, Lynn, enters.
Welcome, Lynn. Here's your name tag.
She hands her a name tag with L-I-N written on it.
We're already wearing ID cards. Also, my name is spelled L-Y-N-N.
But how would it have been spelled in your homeland? Like pre-Ellis Island?
Lynn walks to the food table. Rachel takes her place at the front of the room.
Welcome, everyone, to the first annual NSA Diversity Food Share. We will not be calling it potluck because that's offensive.
To what culture?
Educate yourself, Kwame. Now, I want to thank you all for making this year's diversity survey the most successful ever. I didn't fill out a survey. If you read between the lines, you would have seen that the food preference survey you completed was really about diversity. These foods are your ethnic background. We are all part of the same surprisingly large catering menu.
Then why was there a question about food allergies and nuts?
Because African Americans are 80% more likely to have peanut allergies, which I find racist.
Why?
Peanuts? Come on, Kwame. Enjoy the baba ganoush and our repas, everyone.
The crowd starts to leave, but not before filling up their plates. A few grab entire trays. Interior bathroom stall day. Sarah is seated with her laptop.
We talked about appropriate multitasking, Sarah.
I need to speak to you privately.
A toilet flushes in another stall.
I have to resign. Wallace had me do reconnaissance on his eHarmony date. That's it. I'm going to work for the FBI, the Safety School of American Intelligence Agencies.
So the only thing your target was hiding is terrible taste in men?
The collapse of my career is not a joke, and she is hiding something.
Then, as I told my father at my sister Tinsley's debutante ball, I suggest you find out what she's up to.
I will. And for the record, I came to this conclusion on my own.
Another toilet flush.
You always do.
Interior NSA cubicles day. Sarah approaches her desk as Chip puts on his coat.
You catch a terrorist?
You mean Wallace's eHarmony date? Not yet. Did you retrieve your dozen shirts?
You mean my 48 shirts? Not yet. What are you going to do?
I'm going into the field. And you?
Oh, I'm also going into the field. And just to clarify, I had planned that before you said what you were doing. I'm not copying.
I don't care.
She puts her bag over her shoulder and power walks away.
Nick, let's ride.
Nick pops up from a nearby cubicle holding a motherboard.
Shotgun!
You're the only other person in the car.
Exterior Baltimore-Washington Expressway day. Complete gridlock. Sarah lays on her horn. Chip and Nick are stuck a few cars back. Interior Chip's car day. Nick pulls out his phone.
We need tunes.
He plays You've Got a Friend in Me by Randy Newman.
You've got a friend in me. You've got...
Chip grabs his phone.
No, we need to get pumped up.
What did you think I was doing?
Interior Sarah's car day. She's also scrolling through music on her phone.
Time to get pumped.
Interior Chip's car day. Chip blasts DJ Khaled's All I Do Is Win. They sing along. Interior Sarah's card day. Sarah presses play and Joni Mitchell's River begins. She sings along like a college freshman at karaoke. Exterior Arlington House day. Both cars pull up to a charming suburban home. Interior Sarah's card day. Sarah holds up a photo from her target's Pinterest board, Dream House. It's nearly identical to the house.
Gotcha.
Interior Exterior Chip's card day. Chip peers through binoculars at a stack of Amazon boxes.
Gotcha.
Sarah and Chip exit their cars and they see each other.
What are you doing?
Did you
You're
follow
gonna
me?
ruin my
Your
operation.
This is mine.
Damn it.
Their bickering is interrupted by a car pulling in. They duck behind a hedge and a man steps out of the car with a bouquet of carnations. It's Wallace. End of Act 2. Act 3. Exterior Arlington House day. Wallace man primps in his side mirror. Sarah and Chip are crouched behind the hedge. Nick army crawls over from Chip's car and unzips his backpack.
What are you doing?
You're going to be glad I brought this. Luna Bar, anyone?
Not that. I cannot believe you two followed me here.
Didn't. We're here to get the shirts.
He separates the hedge and points to boxes on the front door.
I was right. My target really is a terrorist. Now, we need to stay out of sight until we can get a warrant.
Listen, there are 48 extremely dangerous shirts on that doorstep.
96.
What?
I tried something, it didn't work.
Fine. There are 96 shirts on that doorstep that could compromise the agency, and I have to get them.
Chip starts to crawl through the hedge. Sarah grabs his leg and pulls him back. Nick eats a Luna bar and watches the tug of war between Chip, Sarah, and the hedge.
Stop.
You're not my boss.
Yet.
They hear Wallace going up the front walk.
I've got...
Sarah slaps her hand over Nick's mouth. Nick puts his hand over Chip's mouth. Chip shoots Nick a confused look. He wasn't even talking. Then shrugs and puts his hand on Sarah's mouth. Sarah pulls his hand away.
Why are you licking my hand?
They peer through the hedge and watch as the target answers the door. Wallace goes in for an awkward hug. She notices the Amazon box and takes them inside. Chip is dejected.
It's over.
For you, yes.
For you, too. Your perfect bust is ruined once they find the jerseys.
Perfect bust.
You need to work together.
Sarah considers this. Chip perks up.
Absolutely not, but I will allow our missions to operate in tandem.
So, like a tandem bike? That thing where two people work together to move forward?
I'm in.
Nick sticks his hand out. Chip puts his hand on top. Sarah looks at the stack of hands and walks away. Nick puts his other hand on top.
And break.
Interior restaurant night. Wallace and his date, / the target, are seated at a cozy table for two. Wallace is fumbling with the wine list.
So I'm divorced.
Yes, you mentioned that in each of your messages.
She left me.
He smiles as if that's a good thing. Exterior Arlington House night. Chip rips the security panel off the wall by the front door.
How do I know which wire to cut?
Let me do it.
Nick taps Chip and Sarah on the shoulders and points to the open door.
I blocked the sensor with my radio jammer and picked the lock.
Radio jammers are illegal.
My neighbor blasts NPR around the clock, and sometimes I need a break from Terry Gross.
Ridiculous. I couldn't listen to her no-nonsense commentary all day.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough about the fresh air. Nick, I don't want to know what else is in your bag.
Mostly Luna bars.
Interior Arlington House night. Chip, Nick, and Sarah stand in the foyer.
I'll search the bedroom.
Absolutely not. You both take the downstairs and I'll do the second floor since one of me can do the work of two of you.
Bedroom. Sarah shakes out books from the nightstand.
Movie tie-in edition of Gone Girl? Disgusting.
Home office. Chip looks through drawers.
Find anything?
Not yet.
Kitchen. Nick is looking through the refrigerator.
You find anything?
Nick stands up, holding a bowl of spinach dip.
Not yet.
Interior restaurant night. Wallace reaches over and helps himself to his date's dinner.
And let's see, I was really into squash for 3 months in 2011. The food, I mean, not the sport.
How interesting.
Interior Arlington House night. Sarah finds Chip and Nick relaxing on the couch, sharing dip.
I can't believe there's nothing here.
Ugh, I can't believe this is low fat.
This is like my dream house, you guys. Actually, the pirate ship from the Goonies is my dream house, but I take this.
Dream house.
She pulls up the target's Pinterest account on her phone. She clicks into a secret board labeled Dream House.
Books are arranged by color.
Yeah, they are. That's cool.
No, it isn't. And words are used in place of actual art.
Nick and Chip look around. There are words on every wall. Home, friends, love, relax, dream, and the word purple, which is painted green.
Do you think it's a code?
No, they absolutely have no meaning.
Sarah clicks on the last pin. A door disguised as a bookcase.
Push on the bookcase. It's a door.
Yeah, okay. Should I turn the candelabra too?
Just do it.
He goes to the bookcase and pushes. It goes inward. Chip sees the Amazon boxes at the end of the hall and runs toward them. He picks one up and sees what's around the corner.
Oh no.
Nick and Sarah run over and they stare at an arsenal of guns, knives, and silencers. Everything is neatly labeled and hung on pegboards, along with mason jars of ammunition. Wires and ropes are on color-coded spools.
It's like Martha Stewart went from domestic goddess to domestic terrorist.
Sarah starts taking photos.
Did she condo method those detonators? I suppose they would spark joy.
Interior restaurant night. Wallace is punching numbers into a mini calculator. Sarah, Chip, and Nick approach the table.
Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Lewis? Talibi? What the hell?
Sarah cuts the target. Wallace jumps up.
Where'd you get those? We don't issue handcuffs to agents.
They were a graduation gift.
Benjamin, let's save these for later. If anyone's going to restrain me tonight, it's you. Why don't we get out of here?
Wallace wipes the sweat off his forehead with a napkin. He couldn't have written a better woman.
Anything you want, Abby. And you?
Are saving your life. Abby is really Abada bin is Pala Abdul.
The target tries to make a break for it, but Chip blocks her. He pushes her back into her seat.
So are you...
No relation.
Sarah pulls out her phone and hands it to Wallace.
Take a look.
For Christ's sake, Lewis, these are photos of Talibi and the IT kid.
I told you to stop taking selfies with my phone.
She scrolls through quickly to find a photo of the arsenal.
This is what is in Abada's house.
You have a lovely home. I mean, there's no pirate ship, but...
Chip quickly covers Nick's mouth, but quickly takes it away and wipes his licked palm on his pants as NSA police enter.
Take her away, boys.
I was going to say that. I've always wanted to say that.
Chip, Nick, and Sarah exit with the target and police. Wallace looks crestfallen.
We were going to split the check.
Interior Wallace's office day. The next morning, Sarah and Chip sit in front of Wallace, who stands behind his desk. Rachel is off to the side.
Not only did I have to pay an extra $40, but I had to spend the night alone.
Sir, she needed to be apprehended.
She still would have been a terrorist in the morning.
You would have slept with an enemy of the state?
Ideology isn't sexually transmitted, Lewis.
But your safety.
She wasn't going to hurt me. It would have been years of sexual espionage. It was a long con.
Incidentally, Long Con is the nickname for my...
Shut up. I hope you enjoyed your assignment. It's your last one for a while.
Rachel clears her throat.
And you're back on the softball team.
What?
This morning, I received a 95-page long diversity report, and while our catering department is inclusive, our sports teams are not.
Rachel holds up a pie chart.
69% of our sports use white balls, and 90% of the athletes have white.
Wallace stops her.
Diversifying the hockey team will take a while. So this is the fast way to say something I've done something.
I won't let you down. Your confidence in my abilities to show... it's my ethnic background. It means the world to me.
Leave, all of you.
Chip, Rachel, and Sarah exit. Wallace readies his dictaphone.
Agent Benjamin looked at the target. Her blouse soaked from the water boiling. Her eyes said she was ready. She whispered, "Come in."
Interior NSA cubicles day. Sarah is at her computer. Chip taps her on the shoulder.
Look, I know you're disappointed about the mission.
My mission.
Well, so I got you this.
He pulls out a giant check from behind the cubicle wall. It's made out to Sarah, but the amount says free hugs.
Why would you write a check for something free?
It's a gesture.
You do financial analysis. Do you know how checks work?
Fine, you're right. It's a really stupid idea. You feel better now?
Actually, yes.
They both get back to work. Sarah looks over and smiles. End of Act 3. Tag. Exterior softball field night. The NSA team, looking sharp in their new shirts, is in the dugout before the game. Sarah is working on her laptop at one end. Chip stretches while texting. Rachel sits in an unidentifiably ethnic head wrap. Nick passes out Gatorade, and a whistle blows. Chip and the team run out onto the field. Their names and numbers have been redacted with black tape. Nick yells from the dugout.
Wait, it's not that hard of a question, you guys. Truth or dare?
End of pilot. Elizabeth, this is just like such a wonderfully warm, lovely pilot.
Yeah.
The first thing I want to ask is please tell me there will be a will they, won't they with Chip and Sarah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, good. I just like wanted to make sure because it's just like these kind of pilots are like smart comfort food. Like, is this the kind of TV you like to watch?
Yes.
So what are some of like the antecedents for you for this pilot?
I was inspired a lot by the IT Crowd, the British show.
Yeah.
I love their sort of dynamic. I watch a lot of 30 Rock,
Yeah.
Office, Parks and Rec.
Yeah, for sure. So did you write this for network?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So like, I want to talk about some of like you do such a good job of making these characters vivid in so little time. And, like, that's your job with a comedy pilot. Can you talk about, like, kind of, do you decide on your characters first? And this is kind of a vague question, but just talk about writing character in a pilot like this.
For this one, I sort of started with the NSA, and it's a world that I wanted to explore. So then thinking about who would be there and who's the sort of the most interesting people to follow.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So did you have to do research on the NSA?
I did. I mean, I took a lot of liberties. Like, they don't go out in the field, but that was sort of necessary for the story.
When you say the field, do you mean the softball field or the actual field?
They might. I don't know if they have a softball team. I'm sure that's not able to be disclosed. They don't go out, to target people. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I read Glenn Greenwald's book and watched
Okay.
Citizen 4.
So, because you're writing a comedy, so there's small elements of satire in here, but not enough that it feels like it's like a satirical show. Was that a goal for you, do you feel?
Yeah, I'm always trying to, play with satire when I'm writing.
Definitely. So who do you think is your favorite character to write in this pilot?
I think Chip.
Yeah?
He was a lot of fun to write. He is actually based on a person that I used to work with.
Okay. Nice. So what do you like? Why do you like writing Chip?
It's just an opportunity to, I don't know, have fun and
Yeah, he's so fun.
Yeah, not be so serious. And I wanted him to be good at his job. I didn't want anyone to be incompetent. But it's nice because he can be good at his job, but also focused on other things.
Definitely. He's kind of like the likable, kind of douchey bro, but there's like a likable... Was that a hard balance for you to strike? Because you've got to infuse like that little prickly element in his character, I feel.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want him to seem like too much of a douche.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, trying to make him also a good person that you could like.
Right. And Rachel and Chip have like already the will they won't they thing brewing. Can you talk about like planning those?
Sarah.
Yeah, sorry. Sarah and Chip have the will they won't they thing brewing. Can you talk about like sort of planting those seeds and like you got to have this push but also this pull between their characters. So can you like talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So I think I wanted Sarah to have the long distance relationship and the same city boyfriend, but I think there has to be an element of love in a show to keep it driving forward. So I think it was important to kind of start them out on a rocky basis, and then so that there's room to grow in their relationship.
Definitely.
And they can definitely, I think the nice thing will be how they can influence each other. Like, he is far more laid back than she is, and she is more serious and driven in her work, and they can complement each other really well.
Yeah, it's like just that thing where you just want to see episode 2 almost for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because you said you graduated from UCB.
Yeah, I took all
Yeah,
the classes.
and I'm a big, I do improv a lot, and can you talk about like how improvisation like helped you write this script? Because there's a lot of parts in here that remind me of like classic Reno 911, where it was like, I mean, this is clearly much better written because they didn't write their episodes, but it's those things. It's like, all right, so Chip and Sarah are gonna meet up here, and this is kind of gonna happen. Go, and like for me, it just feels like a much finer, like fine-tuned version of that. So can you talk about writing with improv at all?
Sure. I think the thing that I got from UCB a lot is figuring out the game of each character. So everyone has to be distinct, and making sure that their dialogue is distinct and it speaks to what they want at all times.
Yeah, Rachel was like, I think like written so perfectly. Every line that she has is hilarious.
Rock star character.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Kind of the female Dwight a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean that as a compliment. Like, because that's another question I want to ask is when you're writing network, and I love writing network too, how do you feel like because when we watch a network comedy, we want to see something kind of familiar. Like, we want to have our comfort taste buds satisfied, but we also want to see something fresh. So can you talk about approaching a network pilot like this and like wanting to hit the beats that all of us want to and kind of need to see, but also infusing something fresh into the writing?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I went and be like, how do I make this fresh? It's just kind of, how do I write something that's funny? That's always my goal. I think it's just the characters, and, infusing them with weird and interesting details.
Yeah.
like Nick licking people's hands. I thought
Yeah.
that was like
Yeah.
literally the funniest thing for the script for me. Like, he
That's
just licks
honestly
people's hands
something
all
I
the
used to
time.
do as a child whenever
So
people
did I.
were-
Yeah,
and
same.
like,
I
just
still,
lick their-
as an adult, don't put your hand over my mouth. You're not expecting that.
And I think that was one of my favorite parts of the script, is seeing the trio of Sarah, Chip, and Nick just interact. In the future, I'm assuming you've written future episodes.
I've thought about them. I haven't
Okay.
written them, yeah.
Did you think that those three would have more interactions like this, where they go on these weird, like, or have these weird experiences together?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all about them doing things together.
With Wallace, like the cliche of the, like, you know, what is that, drugstore romantic novel, erotica novel, but like it's so damn funny.
Yeah.
How did you use that cliche but like make it, I guess, new and fresh, as like we just said? Because
Well,
it seems dangerous, you
I was
know?
thinking about like all the like former agents or like Bill O'Reilly who write these like thriller
Yes.
books.
Yes.
Like how can I just make that totally stupid?
Excellent answer. That was
You're kind of satirizing like the powerful executive who uses their platform to like become a writer.
Yeah.
And you're like, you shouldn't do this.
I think it's his sort of fantasy of what he wants to be. In my
Yeah.
mind, he's like the guy who didn't get the nickname from George W. Bush, and he's like kind of had a chip on his shoulder, so he's like building himself up in his mind.
Well, it's such a funny like subversion that like the target, like he's like, come on, like you could have at least given me this night. Like that was such a. Did you know you wanted to make all these plots kind of culminate in the third act like you did?
It kind of came together during the outlining process.
Yeah. How do you outline?
It's a big part of my process is just going through beat by beat, making sure you know the cliffs are all sort of maximum jeopardy for these characters.
Definitely. When you say maximum jeopardy, I'm like interested in that verbiage. What do you mean?
It's just how can this be the worst thing that is possible? to
super
happen
high
to them?
stakes.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you start with the characters first? Like, did you just come up with all these people? You're like, where can I put these people? Or did you have like NSA in mind and
I
then
had
kind of
NSA in mind, and then figuring out who would work there.
Yeah, they're great.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Do you have any questions for us about this pilot?
Oh no, you guys did a great job reading it. I loved sort of the dynamic between you two.
Yeah.
You really got the characters. This was really helpful just to see what kind of works and what needs to be tightened up.
Yeah, I always ask that. Is there anything that you took away from today, like things you want to change, things you liked or didn't like, things that worked that you didn't know they would?
I think some of the dialogue can be tightened up a little bit. I'm a little long-winded sometimes in dialogue.
I can be that way too, but with comedy, it's like the dialogue is, you want to have that balance between like fun, you know, so I like the dialogue where it's at, but I hear you.
Anytime we've had a writer on the show who has said that, I've been like, yeah, you're
Yeah,
fine.
I
You're
feel the
not
same.
long-winded.
Yeah, I felt like everything was like super
Yeah,
concise
tight.
and to the point, and it felt like it moved along
It
really
moves.
quickly. And
Yeah.
I was dying. I was sitting there with a friend of mine reading this script while she was trying to do work, and I was just like laughing out loud like every few minutes. She's like, "Can we? you okay over there?" And I was like, "This is so damn funny."
Yeah, it's really funny.
It's just so much fun. It's just
Yeah.
it's just like one of those things. I know people would want to tune in week after week just to hang out with
Yeah.
like Chip and Sarah and yeah. Any other questions for us?
Well, what would your? Well, I have a question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, I just like. Wow.
No,
what would
you're
your
good.
dream casting be for this? Because I could see like, I kept seeing Bryan Cranston when I was reading for Wallace.
Wallace. Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
That's a
JK.
great question.
Yeah, I have trouble thinking about that because I never really write with. I appreciate actors, but I don't really write with
Right.
specific people in mind. I think for Sarah, I could see like Anna Camp or someone like that.
That's great.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Nick, maybe like Griffin Newman. Who's,
Cool.
Yeah, Arthur on The Tick, and
Oh yeah.
We
I know.
actually have him in next week.
Oh really?
Yeah, he's gonna be in here. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I was on an improv team with him.
Oh,
years
really?
ago. Yeah,
That's
he's
so
great.
cool.
Nice. Well, if you want to stop in and say hello.
What else do you have coming up? Is there anything else that we could bring on our show, or what are you working on now?
I'm still writing more pilots. I have one that is about a stay-at-home mom who's also a former serial killer.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
like Serial Mom.
Kind of, yeah.
But former.
But probably
Is it a
not
sitcom?
Yes,
as campy.
Do you
It's a dark
primarily write
comedy.
network? Do you feel is that?
I do. Yeah, I kind of just lean towards that.
Is there a reason why? Like, I mean, yeah. Is there a reason why?
I think it's sort of what I watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Along those lines, something I've always wanted to ask, and this is something I think about a lot. It feels like on network, more than any other platform, if we talk about like cable and streaming, stuff just gets canceled. Like, I just feel like on network, it's either a gem or it's kind of garbage. And like, why? Have you ever thought about that and like why that is? As someone who loves network, it's like so interesting how it's such an interesting. I feel like
I feel like you have to keep putting the same scenarios on screen over and over for decades, but like the only ones that stick are like a new twist on a new take. It's like like Brooklyn and The Office and these ones, Parks and Rec, that stand out. Which is what I thought was interesting about this when we talked on Wednesday. I was like, I love the script because it's not anything like. It's not like anything crazy new, but it's just really well done. And that's like what ends up on TV a lot. Is like it's nothing that blows your mind. It's just really great writing and great actors.
Network has a lot of money to make space for that. To be like, well, we're going to put this out and hopefully this one sticks. If it doesn't, that's fine. We'll have something ready to go next year. Whereas I think cable is more of development. They are still newer in that arena, even though HBO's been doing it for a lot longer than people realize. And so they put everything's an investment for them. So they want to give something like at least 2 or 3 years.
When you're writing for network, how do you know what is just offensive enough but not over?
Yeah, I was totally going to ask that.
Stuff.
Like pushing the
dick
envelope.
pic and also like me being like the most racist, non-racist person ever. For Rachel, not me.
I mean, I guess when I write it, I don't really think about where it would be. I just kind of try to do what I think is funny.
That's fair. So you don't necessarily write with like a market in mind.
No, absolutely not.
Do you think writers should, or? I mean, obviously not if you don't, but.
I mean, for me, no. I think it's important just to write something good, and it can land where it lands.
Yeah. Write what you would want to see.
Absolutely, yeah.
John August has a quote where he says, like, write the movie that you would go pay for on opening night, which I think is like such a great quote.
Would NBC be like dream home for this?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's kind of what I saw.
Yeah.
Has Michael Schur read this? Like,
not that I know of.
Let's get it to him.
Do you know him?
He watches this show every week.
We're getting more and more viewers little by
Yeah,
little,
no,
but it's just such a fun script, Elizabeth. We thank you for being here so much.
For sure.
Anything you can tease about what's coming up? Do you have a Bible for the show? Or?
I do. I have a series overview.
I know you want to keep some of that confidential, but like we're just hungry to know what's going to happen on the show.
I think.
She's like too damn bad.
Yeah. I think it has like a very interesting trajectory in that Chip, as a Persian man, can kind of start to think about the role of the agency and taking over people's privacy and what it's doing to people from his background.
Cool.
And then Sarah has to try to kind of figure that out too. She's obviously a big fan of authority figures, and so I think it'll be a reckoning for both of them.
Yeah.
I like that. It's like you hook them with like the normal, like this is just a normal office like fun thing, and then you delve into like deeper issues. That's cool.
I think
like
there's
that.
room to explore sort of the privacy issues. And
Is that why you were interested in the NSA?
Yes.
Because it kind of hasn't been done yet. I feel like this workplace hasn't been explored yet.
Yeah.
It's always CIA, FBI.
Yeah, for sure.
NSA, but NSA is like the most dangerous. Not dangerous, but like the most
Unexplored.
Unexplored, and also the one that directly listens in on like people in the country. Yeah.
It's timely, I think, right now. So it's just fun. Well, we thank you so much for being here today, Elizabeth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If you have anything else you want read on the show, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let's keep in touch. Absolutely. Roxy, I wanted to shout you out because last night, for those listening, you had a pretty cool. I just want to cross promote really quick.
Yeah, this is awesome.
So Roxy co-hosts a show called The Tomorrow Show on Mondays and Thursdays, and you guys had some fun guests on last night.
We had David Crane and Jeffrey Cleric on, which is a huge deal. Obviously, Episodes is coming up on Sunday, so they are promoting that, but as the biggest Friends fan of all time. And we read Friends here on the show, so it is relevant. It was like unfrickin' believable. I couldn't believe I was in the same room as them. They indulged me and let me ask Matt about you and Friends questions, which was like very exciting to my life.
It was awesome. It was really great.
What's the best way to find that, Rox?
TheTomorrowShow.com.
Okay.
I think that's probably what I should have started with.
No, I got you.
Yeah, that's a good plug.
Got
yeah,
your back.
and if you're looking for any of the YouTube links, it's just at The Tomorrow Show on Twitter.
And that show is hosted by the EP of this network, so
Yes.
definitely check it out, guys. It was a great interview, especially I know a lot of writers listen, and it was a very insightful interview for writers.
Yeah,
so.
and talking about networks and who to get involved with and how. It was really interesting.
Oh, cool.
They really gave they spilled a lot. I was kind of surprised.
Nice.
With, how much they were willing to say.
Awesome.
Check that out.
Well, Elizabeth, thanks again for being here. Where can people find you online if they want to connect with you?
I am at elizabethstamp.com and at Stampness on Twitter and Instagram.
Great. Well, guys, this has been the Unproduced Table Read. Really quick, I want to shout out our partners, ARA Printing.
Yay.
They print out these scripts to us for a very heavily discounted price. They're local. They're in Burbank, California on Magnolia Boulevard. They're wonderfully kind, and they're super fast. So definitely the best print shop in town. That's ARA Printing. Also, if you like today's episode, we're actually taping another one on Sunday, which will be fun with a little bit of a different cast, but we're reading another workplace comedy. So if you like today's show, you'll definitely like that one. It's called The Deep Burn, and it's set in a gym. So Roxy's having fun over there with her script.
I just love this printing company.
I
They're
know,
the
me
best.
too.
I
They're
wanted to give
amazing.
them some love.
Yeah.
I feel like some of the Rachel quirkiness is like in you right now.
Yeah.
Hi.
But again, that's ARA Printing, and tune in Sunday at 6 p.m. It's our first evening show.
Yeah,
We're talking about
excited.
maybe dressing up. or
Fancy
something.
tuxedo.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So that's The Deep Burn. It's a goofy kind of heavyweights-y, sort of dodgeball-y gym set comedy. So thanks for being here, guys. My name is Jeff Graham. If you want to find me online, you can do so at Jeffrey C. Graham. We've been having more people pitch me scripts there. So remember, if you want your stuff read on the air, tweet me at Jeffrey C. Graham. How about the rest of you guys?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm Andrew Guy. You can find me at Andrew Guy on Instagram and Twitter.
Hey guys, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram. I brain farted at Miss Adrian Snow. I also hopefully will be coming back for Outlander in September.
My Twitter and Instagram is my name, at Mike Kalinowski.
Find me everywhere, guys, at I am Timothy Mike.
I'm everywhere at Roxy Stryer.
And once again, Elizabeth can be found at Stampness or at her website, elizabethstamp.com. Guys, thanks for being here. See you Sunday at 6 p.m.
Bye.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.